How's everyone doing? I'm Scott Bowerman, the Fly Guy, Daiichi Pro Tire, and today I'm going to tie it's called a hot bead ice caddis. It's one of my own designs. It's a steelhead magnet. I mean, it just rails steelhead. So I'm going to get this one out of the vise. It's completed, and I'm going to go step by step, and we'll get one tied, and you can see how it's done, and you can whip out a bunch for yourself. Okay, I've already got my hooks pre-beaded. It's a 5/32 hot orange bead. Right there's our hook of choice, the Daiichi 1120. Right there it says catch more fish. That's what it's all about, and it's in size 8. The thread we're going to use is a Danville 3/0 monocord, very heavily waxed thread in olive. And what we're going to do is we're going to start our working thread right up behind our bead and wrap a nice thread base going right down our hook. You can see our thread is hanging right about where the barb is at. That's where we want our thread to be hanging. And for our body, we're going to use chartreuse ice stub hairline product. I'm going to put out a couple inches of thread, and you wet your fingers a little bit, it simplifies it, and you only take a little bit of fibers at a time. Pinch them on the thread, spin in one direction. If you put too much on, all it's going to want to do is rope around your thread, and you'll never be able to achieve the task at hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping, and we're starting thin, and then we're going to kind of back over itself, kind of get thicker, working on a bug taper. I'll put a little more dubbing on. And again, don't use very much at a time. I'm going to start wrapping down, and then I'll wrap back over it. And you can see that we're getting a nice taper built up to look like an actual bug. You know, just a little bit of moisture on your fingers really helps in applying ice stub to your thread. And I'm going to wrap almost all the way to the bead. We got a nice chartreuse tapered worm body there. You can see we're just about to the bead, but not quite. And what we want to get now is a nice Whiting's soft hackle. Let's see where we at right here. Brahma hen. That's what we want. And I'm going to come right down here at the bottom, select a nice little feather. They look almost like a Hungarian partridge, the gray does. So we only need about a 1/2 inch. We don't want our barbs to go bigger than what the fly itself is. So right up here, that's how much feather we're going to use right there. This, I'm just going to strip some of this out of the way, because all it's going to do is be in the way. Then I'm going to grab the tip and pull them fibers back. Now I'm going to cut that tip right off and leave just a little tag big enough to tie on. A few wraps to secure it. I'm going to grab my rotary hackle pliers, grab it, the stem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that feather. And now I'm going to start wrapping. And with each wrap, I'm going to pull back and fold and keep repeating that until the feather is wrapped in its entirety. Now I can secure this with my working thread. And you can usually snap the feather stem. You don't have to worry about cutting it. We'll hold that back, a few more wraps to secure. And now for the collar, what we're going to use is hairline peacock ice stub. And again, wet your fingers just a little, and it doesn't take a whole lot of fibers to spin onto your working thread. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these feathers out of the way, and with each wrap I'm going to wrap towards the bead and it's going to roll off the bead. Just like that. Now we've got a nice collar of peacock. We're going to get our whip finish tool, put a whip finish on between the bead and the peacock, and then a second whip finish. I'm going to cut my thread, and there you have a hot bead ice caddis in its entirety in chartreuse. Very effective fly. You should have a few of these in your box when you're pursuing steelhead, and you could even tie them up a little bit bigger for king salmon in the fall. I'm Scott Bowerman, the Fly Guy, Daiichi Pro Tire, and I hope you can get out on the water, catch yourself some fish, be safe, have fun, tight lines, and we will talk to you again. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.